It is your favorite fitness and movie nerd, Al King, back on that again with another banger for y'alls. Out here today, there y'all's tonight, or morning I should say, but I'm dropping this video hella late. But guys, I gotta talk about the new Fantastic Four movie. I just recently seen it today, well earlier today I should say, but I gotta share my thoughts on it, guys. There will be spoilers, just so you guys know. I repeat, there will be spoilers. Y'all know how I do. Very, very rare that I do a spoiler free than a spoiler video. I just like to do my spoilers, get it out the way, and keep it pushing to something else. But let's get on into it, guys. So, Fantastic Four, as seen in the title, guys, this is a fast food Marvel movie. What do I mean by that? So, this film basically gave me everything I expect in a Marvel film nowadays. I got everything I expect. You know, I got the humor, got some decent action scenes, and I got an alright story-ish, but it was nothing outstanding. Nothing really stood out to me. It was alright. It was average, you know. Now I will say this, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four type of fan in terms of Marvel. You know, there's better, you know, groups and team ups and characters I'm more of a bigger fan of. You know, just my opinion. But I will say, you know, growing up I do remember the old Fantastic Four movies and briefly, watching them as a kid. I always thought they were really cool. This one was alright, you know, it was decent. It felt good to see something different than, you know, having Doctor Doom being constantly the center of attention, you know, like a lot of the other films. But this one, you know, they had Galactus be the main villain. Also, I guess you can count the Silver Surfer. I'll get to her in a moment. But yeah, you know, it was an alright film. But yeah, the reason why I say it was a fast food movie was because nothing really stood out much. You know, this is not a spectacular film you're gonna watch. Honestly, Thunderbolts was a much better film than this film in my personal opinion. You know, Thunderbolts was actually a solid film. And yeah, that's one I think that was underrated. This one, I gotta see what other YouTubers are talking about, because I haven't really been watching a lot of other YouTubers regarding the new Fantastic Four movie. But I feel like this is going to be an overhyped movie. I really do feel like it, but this is average at best. You know, this ain't nothing special from Marvel Studios. If you're looking for something like crazy outstanding, this is not that type of film. This is the film that you go there, and if you ain't got nothing to do, you're bored, this is the type of film you go watch, in my opinion. But yeah, so things I didn't like about this film, I really did not like that. Really, just the ending. That's the main thing. The ending with Galactus, you know, being stopped by, like the Silver Surfer right at the end. You know, like it. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. You know, she just popped out of nowhere. Like, her motives didn't really make sense for her to do that. You know, just out of nowhere. But I will say, other than that, I did enjoy the scenes with Silver Surfer when she pulled up and had her action scenes. She had some cool scenes for sure. But she wasn't like standing out like outrageously throughout this film. Like, it wasn't outstanding regarding the Silver Surfer. But she really low key was like the highlight of this film due to her action scenes. But that's the first problem I had with this film. The ending, did not like the ending. And then, you know, you got Sue Storm. I don't even know if she's even that powerful. You know, like, from what I remember, like, I never knew how powerful. Again, like, I don't know much about Fantastic Four. I do know that they are really important in the Marvel comics, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't really know a whole lot about Sue Storm and her powers and capabilities. But I don't think she should have been able to take on Galactus like that. Like, able to do what she did at the end. I don't know how accurate that was. I don't know. But, and then to have Silver Surfer pop up out of nowhere, take down Galactus. Yeah, nah. But I did like the whole I did like the whole teleportation idea. You know, trying to teleport Earth, and then they seen that backfire. That was a cool idea. I actually really like that. And instead, you know, they was able to teleport Galactus. So I'm curious what's gonna be the future of Galactus. You know, where did he go? Is he gonna go back to the Earth? Oh, that like, or is he gonna pop up in Earth 616? You know, I don't know. And then connecting the Thunderbolts to this film, you know, if you remember at the post-credit scene, you see a ship with the number 4, Fantastic Four, coming into Earth. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Yeah, that correlation, I'm still trying to see that getting figured out. But the post-credit scenes, that's another thing I got to get to. I wasn't really much of a fan of the post-credits. Well, except for the first one. The first post-credit scene was good. You know, you got to see Doctor Doom. But the second one was absolute garbage. I'm like, bro, like there was no need for that second post-credit scene. That was just like, why? Like no need whatsoever. And then another thing I didn't like about this film, way too much dialogue. Way too much dialogue. You barely get to see Reed Richards uses his powers till like the very end, honestly. You know, like these characters are just going through life, you know, doing their normal stuff, you know. It was just a lot of dialogue. They really dragged out this film. It's been a while since I watched a Marvel movie where I was actually looking at my phone and being like, you know what time it is. Like, it's been a while since I've done that, you know. So yeah, the pacing of this film was pretty slow. But that's really, I think I covered everything I needed to cover. But yeah, this is a fast food movie, 1000%. Ba da ba ba ba. You know, I guess you're loving it, but yeah, guys, it's your boy Al King. Let me know what you guys think about Fantastic Four. I think it's average at best, but let me hear what you guys got to say. Y'all take it easy.